Hey, so welcome back. We are tootling along here on this March mindset path. And today I was thinking about when I hired my first coach. My very first coach, I believe it was 2008, 2007, 2008-ish. And her name is Jackie Nagel, and she has a company called Synovatia. And I just looked her up just to make sure. I was looking her up, checking out her stuff. And so I got referred to her. Let me tell you the story. I was already a coach. I had already been a counselor. I had attended some trainings. I had become a certified life purpose coach before that. And so I was coaching, I was doing the things. I had opened up an office, I'd rented an office, and this was in Wichita Falls, Texas. So I was doing stuff, I was doing the things. I actually, during that same time, 2008, I got onto YouTube for the first time. 2008, I started a blog talk radio show. So I was out and about doing things, but I got to this point, which you might understand, where I just knew I needed somebody one on one. I need somebody to help me to look at my business. And so this is a long time ago, friends. At the time of this recording, this is March 2023. And so you do the math. This was 2007 or 2008. And so we will just carry on knowing that that is either 15, 15 or 16 years ago. Okay, so I met with a colleague who I had heard about. It's all about referrals, it's all about connections. So one of my friends knew of a friend in this small town who was a speaker. She was a keynote speaker. She was getting paid to speak. And so she introduced me to this woman, and I went to coffee. I remember this exact conversation. I went to coffee with this woman, and we talked about coaching, we talked about speaking, we talked about just promoting, selling ourselves, marketing. We had the best time. We had the best time. And she told me who her coach was. I asked her, I said, "Who is your coach? Do you have a coach?" And she gave me the name of Jackie. So that later that afternoon, this is before we were dialing everything up instantly. Later that afternoon, I went home and I'm sure looked her up, reached out, did some research, did some Googling, and I reached out to Jackie and we set up a discovery call. So on this discovery call, she did something that was really phenomenal, and I'll never forget it. She, of course, was asking me what I needed, doing all the good discovery call, information gathering, conversations, and I'm pouring my guts out, I'm rather sure, because that's my style, because I want her to have all of the information. This is like the triage, friends. This is like the diagnosis. And of course, she said, "Yes, I can help you." And so I asked her how much it was, and she told me, and of course, I had a little moment of panic. I had a little moment of panic, and we won't even talk about the numbers because the numbers depend on where you are in your business. They depend on where you are in your business. And so she said something so life changing for me. I must have said, "I don't know if I can afford that." And be careful when you say that, because guess what? I have learned to afford many, many things that I thought I couldn't afford at the time. And I've learned to also ask, how can I afford that? This is a key nuance. How can I afford blank? How can I afford that mastermind? How can I afford that coach that I'd love to hang out with and learn from? How can I afford to go to that workshop, training, conference, or event? How can I afford that vacation? How can I? So I must have gone into some fear and panic and said, "I'm not sure." And she said to me, "What can you afford? What can you afford? And what did you have in mind?" Oh my gosh. Life-changing question, which recentered me. It recentered me back on, okay, here's the number I had in my head. So basically, she tells me what it was. I tell her the number that I was kind of prepared mentally to pay. And she said, "Well, how about this? A little bit higher, like a stretch." She gave me a stretch. And she said, "For that amount, we'll just reduce this, this, and this. Yeah, but you'll still have coaching with me." I was a yes. I was a yes. I was a yes. I was a yes. And so we started on a journey together. I can't remember how long we coached together, a year, 2 years. And I don't know if we met once a month, twice. I don't really remember the details, but I remember how supported I was. I remember that she was exactly what I needed to at that time. The right person is going to come at the right time, and we can adapt. We can change our mindset. We can step into, hey, well, what can you get into here with me? So I love that story, and I loved remembering it this morning because it allowed me the ability to get the support I needed, but it also reminds me that I get to do that with my clients. I get to do that with my clients, and so I do. I do. So I can rearrange things. Some clients want this and they don't want that, so I can rearrange it. I can rearrange it. I can offer them something that speaks their language. I can astonish my clients. I can send gifts to my clients. I can give them bonuses this way and that way. I can do as I feel led because we each have different ways that we feel supported. So, do not say, "I can't afford it." Get the coach that you desire. Get into that guy's world, girl's world, that coaching container, that program, and step out of the fear. Step away from the fear. Like, don't feed the fears, friends. Don't feed the fears. Just remember that you are capable of so much more. You're capable of so much more. I've gone on to work with so many different coaches, and there's these distinct women that I have had different seasons of my journey, and they have all changed my life. As I know, I have changed the lives of hundreds of women. Hundreds of women. How do I know that? Do I have evidence? Yes, I do actually do have evidence. I have evidence of that from creating the National Association of Christian Women Entrepreneurs in 2010. I have evidence of running that, leading that, being the president of that for 7 years. I have evidence of lives changed by being a part of my books because I invited women to be a part of those with me. Did I know how to do that? No. No, I didn't know how to do that. My coach taught me how to do that. My coach taught me how to do that. Did I know how to do a hard art retreat? No. My coach helped me. Did I know how to offer a year-long mastermind? No. My coach helped me do that. So every single thing, I have had someone to grab onto when I panic. I've had someone to say, "Hey, what about this? Hey, ho, well, huh?" And this is long before we were chitter-chattering the day on the Voxer. I mean, I probably had 1 session a month. I had maybe 2 sessions a month, and we were, eventually we were on Zoom, but before that we were on free conference call or some such thing. Remember those days, my friends? Back in the old days, I paid, we had our conference calls on freeconferencecall.com, and each time we did those for the association, I paid someone to transcribe those. Well, my gosh, now, friends, we have a click of the button transcribe now. So you too can feel old when you say such things. All right, friends, find the coach, make reach out, do the next step so that you can get the support you desire. I'll see you soon. I'm Diane Cunningham Ellis. I am your brave business coach.